Okay, it looks like we've got most people in the webinar. I want to welcome everybody to our student experience webinar on living on campus. My name's Andrea Thomas, and I am the Chief Experience Officer here at the University of Utah. And we're really excited to have Rachel Aho joining us from our Housing and Residential Education part of campus. I want to kind of give you a little bit of context for why we do this before I turn it over to Rachel. We know that there's a lot going on for students who are going to be joining us here at the University of Utah in the fall. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of information that you have to understand. And so we've tried our best to build multiple resources to help support that. And this webinar series is one of those resources we have. We will be recording this and then we will upload it to a website that will give you access not just to this webinar, but to other topics that we've had webinars on, and we'll continue to have additional webinars just to give important information. So the website is belong.utah.edu. We have a campaign that we call You Belong, which is a way that we talk to students, give them information, tell them about fun things happening on campus. And the website belong.utah.edu really aggregates what they need to know at this point in time. So it changes. Right now, we've got orientation going on. We've got a lot of getting ready for school things going on. As we get into the semester, that it will talk about activities that we've got and certain deadlines that you have for registration, those types of things. And then there's also a chat feature on that. If you have questions, you can chat on that website to get the answers. And you can also explore a lot of different resources like videos, like these webinars. And we have checklists for new students, continuing students, and parents. So 3 different checklists. We've also got a newsletter called The Loop that sends out both texts and a newsletter. Parents can get on that list so that you know what's going on here as well. So lots of really good things. Belong.utah.edu. And today we thought it was a very relevant time to talk about living on campus. So Rachel, I'll let you introduce yourself and kind of your team because you're such an important resource for folks. And then I'm going to be monitoring our Q&A function. So if you look at the bottom, you've got a Q&A that you can type in questions. And then I'm going to be monitoring that, and we will answer questions at the end. If there is a topic that we're in the middle of talking about that we can clarify, I might jump in and ask Rachel, but most of them will be at the end, and we'll address all the questions that you have. And so just wanted to make sure that as you're going through, type your questions, and then we'll get to all the questions before we end the webinar. So with that, I will turn it over to Rachel Aho. Thanks so much for being here, Rachel.
Of course, and thanks for the invitation and for all of you who are viewing this. We know that living on campus is an exciting part of your college experience, and we hope to provide you with some tips today for how to prepare for living on campus and how to make the most of that experience as well. To begin though, I want to talk about our housing offer process, as I know this is an ongoing process. So at the time of this webinar, so today is June 12th, here's where we are at with our housing offer process. So you may be in a few different places. First off, if you have already reserved a bed for this upcoming year, great news, you're all set in terms of having that bed. What we would ask you to do at this point is to keep checking your email throughout the summer, as we will be emailing you updates about move-in day. So that is your next step. If you have yet to reserve a room, you should know when you applied, and that will determine where you're at in your offer process. So if you applied by June 5th, you are guaranteed to receive an offer for a housing spot on campus prior to move-in. And this is for incoming first-year students. So you do have that guarantee if you applied by June 5th. What you should do is, again, check your email regularly, and we will send an offer to your email. After you get that offer email, you have 48 hours to log in and select your exact room that you'd like to reserve. You will be able to check your exact spot on our offer list in your Housing U portal. So if you're curious about where you're at on that list, you can find that in Housing U. And you can check our offer progress on housing.utah.edu/waitlist. We are offering to students on a regular basis. Just yesterday, we sent out 130 more offers to students. So know that that list is moving, and it's important that you check that email. If you applied after June 5th for housing and you're a first-year student, the process is similar. You will be offered a room based on availability, and we would send that offer to your UMail account. So we will work our way through the list of folks who applied by June 5th first. And then if there is availability, we will email you and send an offer your way if you applied after June 5th. So that's what you can expect for the housing offer process. Next, I want to talk about move-in and what else you can be doing to begin preparing for move-in, as it will be here before we know it. So here's some pre-move-in information. We get a lot of questions about, can I bring my bike to campus? Should I buy a fridge? Will my bed loft? These all are things that we address as part of our optional services here at the University of Utah. So you are able to bring a bike to campus. Many of our students do, and we offer limited indoor bike storage as well. So when you apply for housing, you'll have the opportunity to request bike storage. You should request that by July 1st to be a part of our bike storage lottery process. What that means is if you request bike storage by that date, you will have an equal chance of getting an indoor bike storage spot, and we'll let you know if you got an indoor spot so that you can plan for that prior to move-in day. We do have plenty of exterior or outdoor bike storage as well. So if you are not able to bring your bike and use that indoor bike storage, we do have exterior bike storage on campus. Loft kits. So most of our beds on campus are already self-loftable. So that is good news for you. That means you can adjust the height of your bed at any time. If you are living in one of our triple rooms, those beds will already be lofted for you upon your arrival. If by chance your bed is not self-loftable, you will be able to request a loft kit after you check in, and then we will be able to deliver one of those kits to your room at no charge so that you can work towards lofting your bed. Fridges and in-room safes. So you can request what we call a micro chill. It is a mini fridge with a microwave that sits on top of that mini fridge. If you request that from our partner at College Products, I included the link there, by August 1st, that will be placed in your room when you arrive. So it'll already be in your room. You don't have to lug one to campus or go out and buy one. And that way too, you can just leave that and drop that off for College Products on campus at move out as well. So it's really convenient. We encourage you to take advantage of that rental program. You can also rent in-room safes if you'd like. College Products will also be here on site during move-in. So if you change your mind, you didn't make a reservation, not to worry, you can still make a reservation when you're here on campus. Lastly, we do have a streaming service that you can take advantage of. If you want to sign up for Xfinity on campus, you can think of this like a TV cable streaming service. Over 200 channels are available, and you can sign up for that service again on our optional services website. And that way you have access to use that both on campus and when you travel home over the break periods as well. So those are some great optional services.
So Rachel, question for you on the bike storage. If you didn't know to click the box that you were interested when you made you did your application, is there a way you can go back and request the indoor bicycle availability?
There is, yes. You can log back in to your Housing U portal and do that. If you need help or are trying to find where to do that, just give our office a call too, and they'll walk you exactly through how to change that selection. But you can do that in Housing U. All right. So now let's talk about move-in day and what you could expect for move-in day. So before you arrive, it'll be important for you to check for your arrival appointment, your move-in date and time. This will be assigned to you. And those assignments are actually going out this week for students. So we anticipate having those posted on our website by this Friday. And then you'll also be able to see your exact move-in time and date in your Housing U portal by the end of next week as well. But we will be posting the full schedule online this week. So check your move-in date and time. Make travel arrangements then using that date and time. In your Housing U portal, you will also get a QR code. And that will come to you sooner as we get closer to move-in day. And that's what you'll want to bring with you, have pulled up on your phone when you arrive, so that we can check you in and get you off to your housing building so that you can move in quickly. In terms of what happens during move-in, so again, you'll check in and you'll come to the University Union to check in. So all students will start by coming to the Union. You'll come at your move-in date and time. We'll get you your key, we'll check you in, and then we'll give you directions on how to navigate to your unloading zone. Then you'll head to your unloading zone, which is typically right outside where you're living. You'll roll up, we'll have volunteers who will be there ready to help you unload your belongings. And then you'll be able to move your belongings into your room. After you've emptied your car, we will have you move your car to a satellite lot, and we'll have a shuttle ready to bring you back to your room so that you can continue getting settled in and unpacked for the rest of the day. So definitely you can anticipate a warm welcome. Our team will be here in red shirts. We are also very excited to be partnering with IKEA. This year, IKEA will be our official move-in sponsor, and they will also be here helping with move-in. And so you'll see our IKEA friends in yellow shirts as well, ready to help welcome you to campus. There will be many resources, fun events happening throughout move-in. There's a great parent lounge as well, which will be a place down by College Village that you can come and just relax after you've had a chance to move in. So lots of events coming your way. And again, check your email as we'll be sending more details about those as we get closer.
Hey, Rachel, you're breaking up a teeny bit, so I don't know if there's something you can do on your end, maybe turn your video off or something so that we can hear you a little bit more clearly.
Sorry about that. Let me try to turn my video off.
It actually sounds better right now, so I'll just monitor it.
All right, thank you, and please let me know if that's happening. Apologies for that, but the main takeaway on this page again is we'll be sending you all of these details to your email. So make sure that you're checking your email account regularly. That's the student's email account, as that's where we'll send all move-in information.
Hey, Rachel, just really quick on that. I would imagine that you've all activated the UMail account, because that's how you sign up for and get information for orientation. But if you need directions for that, if you go to belong.utah.edu, part of the checklist for first year students is how to open up your UMail account. I know that 17, 18, 19-year-olds are not big fans of email, but that's a really important way that we send information. So we have had situations where there's all kinds of important information in the UMail the box and nobody's opened it. So just make sure you're checking it regularly. And it's really the university ID number at utah.edu. And so students automatically, when they get admitted, have a university ID number. And that's just something that you can help your students get in the habit of checking.
Yeah, thanks for emphasizing that. I think that is, again, a great habit to get into. Not just our department is sending things to UMail. That is our official method of communication to students across the campus. Okay, so some move-in tips and tricks to help make this a great process for you. One, make sure before you get to campus that you take note of your campus address. We will start to accept packages as early as August 6th on campus. So if there are some things you need to mail ahead of time, you can begin mailing things as long as they arrive after August 6th. We do recommend that you wait to purchase any larger items prior to arriving on campus, and that you're communicating with your roommates as well in advance, so that you make sure that you're not ending up with 2 futons in your space that you can't fit and no TV if you wanted a TV. So make sure to communicate with your roommates about your plan for who is bringing what. Also, if you need to purchase a parking permit, those permits will go on sale starting July 1st on Commuter Services website. We do encourage you to think about not bringing a car to campus. In fact, only 30% of our first year students bring a car to campus. And that's because we have great public transportation and campus transportation options. So know that those transportation options are included and they are free for you to use. You can also use all UTA services throughout Salt Lake City for free using your ID card. So that is a great option. But again, if you absolutely require a car, those permits go on sale July 1st. And you will want to purchase a permit that has the H designation associated with it. The H designation means that that is applicable in our housing parking lots.
Okay, Rachel, can you say that again? You cut out just a little bit. So go over how to get to the parking.
Yeah, the parking passes are available online at Commuter Services website, and they will go on sale July 1st. Okay.
Okay, July 1st. And you can buy parking permits whenever you need to. So do you know if the H permits sell out?
The H permits typically do not sell out. And that is because most of our first year students don't bring a car to campus. What I will say about availability of parking, however, is if you purchase an H related permit, you shouldn't expect to be able to park right outside your building. This is especially true if you live on lower campus. So that would include Collard Village, Lassonde, or our Epicenter building. If you live in Heritage Commons or upper campus, as we call it, there is more parking availability there. All right. A couple other tips for you for move-in. So red carts are available to assist you with move-in. as you arrive. So what we mean by red carts are what you're seeing in this picture on the slide. There's these large carts. It makes moving in very easy. So don't be surprised if our staff roll up when you come to park with a red cart and begin helping you to unload your belongings into those carts. It makes it so you only need to do a couple of trips to get moved into your room. We do recommend that you label your items just so that they make sure to stay with you. So put your last name and room number on those items. That's a good practice. Again, we will have plenty of staff and volunteers on site to help you and answer any questions. We want to make sure that you are finding somewhere safe and secure to keep your room key too. So I know you can be very excited to head to your room right away and get rushed to head off to your room. Make sure before you exit the union that you're clipping that key on a keychain, that you have somewhere designated to keep that key. We're always surprised of how many keys get lost on the way from the union to when you arrive at your hall. So just take some time. There's no rush. You'll have plenty of time to move into your room. Okay. And then next, I want to talk about just 5 tips for success while you're actually living here on campus, how to make the most of your on-campus experience. Number 1 is get involved. It is not too early as a first-year student to get involved on campus. And in fact, it is the great and probably best way to make sure that you are getting integrated into campus, that you are meeting friends, and that you're making connections related to areas of interest. One of the ways you can get involved on campus is with our Residence Hall Association. Our Residence Hall Association is our version of a student government for students who live on campus. You can also apply for an on-campus job through our department as well. We hire students all year long to help work as housing ambassadors, giving tours, working in our main office, working our front desk areas. That's a great way to make a little extra money and get some work experience at the same time. Number 2, make sure that you are using the resources on campus. So as an on-campus resident, you're going to have access to a variety of resources. So that could be music practice rooms, meditation spaces, lounge spaces, our Creative Commons space, where you can learn about Adobe products, maker spaces where we have 3D printers or woodwork workshops for you, fitness facilities. We have all of those things integrated into our residence halls. So make sure that you're taking advantage of those resources, getting to know them, and using them throughout your time on campus. Tip 3, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We know that this is a big adjustment. This might be your first time living away from home and on your own. It likely is for you and for all of the folks that you're living alongside. So don't feel afraid to ask questions. Your resident advisor, who is a student leader living on your floor with you, is a great resource to start with. We also have full-time staff, our residence directors and our resident outreach coordinators, and they are here to help you adjust to campus. So don't be afraid to ask questions. That can be anywhere from, how to use your meal plan to how to find your class on day 1, to, how to make an accommodation request with our Center for Disability and Access. We can help you find resources to answer all of those questions. Number 4, be honest with your roommates. So if you have a roommate, start your relationship off right by having some really honest conversations with them. Yes, it's important to get to know them. And yes, you know, you probably want to get off on the right foot and have a good first impression. You will do that. You will also do that though and set yourself up for success in the future if you're honest with them about what you're comfortable with and what you're not. So for example, if you don't want them eating your Oreos that you purchased, just say so. Talk about that. Talk about what you want to share, what you don't want to share, what time you typically like to go to bed, what your class schedule is like, who's going to bring what to campus, and who's going to, you know, make decisions about purchasing things for the room potentially. So have those conversations. It's not too early to do that and to begin checking in with one another. Number 5, give yourself some time to adjust and make sure you seek support. So again, we know this is a big change, not just for you, but also for your families, for those who are supporting you through this. So it is normal to feel nervous, excited, homesick, happy, sometimes all at the same time. Give yourself some grace and take care of yourself as you adjust to campus and use our resources that we have to support your well-being, whether that's getting a workout in at our student rec center or going and taking advantage of counseling services on campus, connecting with a student success coach. We are here to make sure that this adjustment goes as smoothly as possible for you. And again, give yourself time. It typically takes at least the first 6 weeks for you to be able to get familiar with campus, get familiar with living on campus, and get into a good routine. So you don't have to know everything day one. And again, we're here to help you along the way.
Hey, Rachel, I think that's a really
Andrea.
Yeah, so Rachel, I think that's a really, really important point. There's a lot of resources available at the University of Utah, just right on campus. We have RedMed, so there's a doctor or a health facility right in the Union. The Student Life Center is free for all students. The transportation on tracks or on the UTA buses is free with your student ID card. So there's just a lot of resources that are available. And the best way to find out about them, honestly, there's so many that if we were to sit everyone down and go through all of them, it would be hard to like really process all of those. So the best way to really understand all of those is to ask questions. The RAs know about all of that. There's student success folks in the, you've got your academic advisors that you're going to meet during orientation. There's just lots of different ways to do that. And then we do have the belong.utah.edu website that links you to a lot of those resources. There's also a student-focused Instagram channel, Utah a Student Life, that will have a lot of information out on social media. But like Rachel suggested, there's just, you know, go around, meet people, get involved, ask questions, ask your professors about things. There's a lot of information there. So we're going to answer questions now, and feel free to just type in the Q&A button any questions you have. The first, if my child has YouTube TV streaming, can they just connect to Wi-Fi and stream that app on their TV?
They can. Yep. Yeah. If they already have a streaming service that they have the login information for, they can use that by just plugging in that to their computer or their TV.
Excellent. Thanks, Rachel. Is there a place for ski storage?
So most students, if they're bringing skis or snowboards to campus, actually store those in their rooms. So you'll see students tuck them under their bed or in their closet area. So there's not separate ski storage or snowboard storage.
Okay, great. type other questions if you have those. I want to reiterate that we did record this and it will be up on belong.utah.edu if you want to go back and listen to anything or look at anything. I'll give it another couple minutes for questions. One thing, Rachel, you cut out a little bit when you were talking about who to look for. I know you and your team have red shirts. I know you're being sponsored, Move-In's being sponsored, and there's folks wearing other colored shirts. Can you just go through that really quickly, just where to go if you have questions as you're moving in?
Yeah, if you have questions while you're moving in, look for one of our housing staff members. We will be in red shirts. So you will see us in red t-shirts throughout the day. We are having IKEA be our move-in sponsors. You will see IKEA in yellow shirts. They are there to primarily help move those carts in and get you moved into your room. But for questions regarding campus or move-in, find one of us in our red shirts.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rachel. I had a question on clubs. The first 2 weeks of school we call weeks of welcome, and this is an opportunity for students to see all the clubs that are available to them. And so they all table all around campus. And so there's any number of clubs. There's all kinds of clubs. And so the question was specifically any Christian clubs. The answer is yes, absolutely, multiple of those. And there's lots of other kinds of clubs as well. So weeks of welcome is the kind of participate, come out, get to know people, and they'll all be tabling right by the union. And then there's a place that you can go that lists all the clubs on the utah.edu website. And so it's fairly easy to find all the clubs available to students. Rachel, is there a bedding pack that people can order?
Yeah, in terms of a linen package, you can look at College Products for a linen package as well. IKEA will also be offering some specials and some deals to students. So make sure to check your emails as we'll be sending information about that.
Great, thanks, Rachel. Can students change to a different dorm after selecting one?
Yeah, great question. So students can keep their eye out for any rooms that are opening in Housing U. So that if they want to look for any available rooms, they can look at Housing U and change rooms leading up to move-in. We will freeze that ability to change those rooms as we get into August, just so that we are fully prepared for the correct students to be moving into the correct room. And then after move-in, students can also request a room change via our room change process. And that form is online in Housing U.
Okay, thank you. Is it true that there's no holes allowed in dorm walls?
That is true. Yeah, please do not nail things into the wall or hang things into the wall that will lead to permanent holes. We actually suggest if you want to decorate or put things on the wall, use temporary things such as 3M strips to do that.
Okay, thank you. I cannot find my place on the housing wait list. Are there any things that I might need to complete or any reason for this? They applied for housing around the middle of May.
Yeah, around the middle of May, you should have been placed on that wait list. Give our housing office a call, 801-587-2002, and we'd be happy to look at that individually with you.
Thanks, Rachel. Can you give that number again, that phone number?
Yeah, 801-587-2002.
Okay, and then always, if you go to utah.edu and search, we've got a really good search function, so you can find it again just by searching for housing. I hear Greek system activities start the Monday of move-in. How do we coordinate that with move-in?
Yeah, if your student is signed up and interested in participating in our sorority rush process, they will be approved to move in early if they sign up for that process. So make sure if they're interested in that they do sign up and register with Fraternity and Sorority Life, and we will receive a list of all of those registrants, and they will be approved for early move-in. So the fraternity rush process does take place later. So if you're interested in rushing for a fraternity, you would not be approved for early move-in. It's just for those participating in sorority rush.
Thanks, Rachel. If students did not get a roommate ahead of choosing a room, how might they coordinate with someone they want to live with?
Yeah, so if you selected a room and you don't yet have someone reserved in that room alongside you, what will likely happen at this point is as folks are logging in to reserve a space, they will be able to view your profile and select to live alongside you in that room. We are offering to folks in order of where they're at on our offer list at this point. So we're not able to move someone up ahead of others on that list. But if you do have someone who is next up on that order list, it is a possibility that they would be able to reserve in a space with you. So just communicate with that potential roommate where you reserved so that they can look for that adjacent room.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. That was our last question. I want to thank Rachel so much for being here. There's a lot of information and there's a lot of places you can go if you didn't catch something or if you want to kind of relook at something. Rachel and her team do just a phenomenal job. We have great housing here at the University of Utah. I think we'll have about 6,000 or nearing 6,000 students living on or are next to campus, and we're constantly, looking at ways that we can increase campus activity and a lot of fun things going on. So I want to just thank her for taking the time, and then I want to thank Marissa and Trisha for setting things up. I do think one of the questions just came in: can we see inside dorms during on-site orientations?
Yeah, we do give housing tours to Collard Village and Lassonde Studios during orientation. So if you are interested in seeing either of those facilities, we will be giving tours during orientation. Otherwise, we do have 3D room diagrams on our website and also on our social media. We do a lot of video tours of many of our other residence halls on campus.
Okay, so if there's rooms like up in Upper Campus, Fort Douglas area, you've got video tours and 3D images of those. But we actually have people living in those this summer, and so those aren't open for tours. Yep. Okay, excellent. Well, I want to thank everybody for attending, and we're super excited to have your students come here on campus. We're going to have a great year next year. There's a lot of things going on, and University of Utah is just a fabulous place to get your education. So we're really grateful for everybody who's coming and moving in, and we'll have a really awesome start to the school year. So thanks so much for joining our webinar today. And if you have other questions, you can go to the housing site, or you can go to belong.utah.edu and just type your question into the chat question area. So again, thanks so much for being here, and have a great rest of your day.